Can I shoot Chair? Chair?
Hello, sorry for that. I wanted to unmute, but it was a little bit stuck. So I can hear Honorable Sompa. Then, is there any other hand except those ones? No, I don't see anyone from my gadget. Can we request the secretary to respond?
Thank you, Chair. So first and foremost, with regard to the study tour, Chair, yeah, the date is what? 2 to 6 March. So that is from Monday to Friday. What usually happens with these oversight visits, Chair, the delegation departs usually the Saturday evening, whether it's a connecting flight or direct flight. So we'll depart, what is it? So if the second is the Monday, the first is the Sunday. So what is it? 31st? Is it 31st? No, February is what? 29 days, 28 days. So we'll depart that Saturday. And what usually happens is the return flight is usually the Saturday evening the following week. So on the 7th of March. Look, that has been the norm. I mean, since I've been in Parliament. I know that COCTA, for example, when they went now, when was it? In October? When did they go, Mesompa? November, somewhere there. But anyway, but they
It's 3
were,
weeks back.
yeah, so there were issues with their flights. So they returned, I think, the Tuesday or something like that. But there was issues with their flights coming back. But they also left, I think, that Saturday before the oversight visit. Then, so it's actually 5 working days, Mr. Three. That is the aim, or what has been the norm over the years with these international study tours. Then, with regard to readiness, the correspondence was sent to DERCO. What is our intention of going to Germany? The purpose of the study tour. Now, even speaking to my colleague responsible for COCTA, and she indicated that no, first and foremost, a correspondence must be sent to DERCO. So DERCO sends that correspondence to the embassy. Then the embassy will confirm that the dates identified are in order. So once they say those dates are in order, then I proceed with the logistical arrangements. So we haven't submitted anything yet to the House Chair, Mayor Sompa. So we are awaiting the, shall I call it, the go-ahead from DERCO to say that, no, you can proceed. Or the dates, we are fine with the dates. We can do the necessary arrangements for that study tour. So that's where we are with regard to the study tour, Chair. As I say, I'm still awaiting the go-ahead from DERCO. But once we get that, Vuyo will seek the logistical arrangements, the flights, the accommodation, etc. And then we'll submit to the office of the House Chair. I'm not going to commit myself or put my head on the block of when that is going to happen. But yeah, so as I say, so it's in the pipeline. Then, where are we? So as you've indicated, Mr. Milam, yeah, with regard to the stakeholder engagements, look, we didn't include this now for this term, any stakeholder engagements, but I'm sure the committee, with regard to the EDI, for example, that we do take that forward where we get other stakeholders to come and brief us on their views on the EDI. So for this term, there is nothing. Then you are right. With regard to the DTP, TDP, the Transmission Development Plan, remember that was an item that fell off. We were actually supposed to have that meeting today, but we took that one off. So we'll have to slot it in somewhere. Now, if members look at the oversight visit, from 3 to 6 February, it's 4 days. So if we say that visit to solar water heater projects, that we can do 1 day visit to INEP, 1 day, and then the visit to the National Control Room. So those are 3 days. So maybe we can squeeze in, not squeeze in, but 1 day can maybe be the briefing by the NTCSA on the transmission development plan. So, but also with this, as you can see here, oversight visit, province, to be confirmed. So even on that one, if members can indicate where must we go to deal with these. The control room, of course, is in Germiston, Gauteng. So, but I mean, or what I propose, for example, solar water heater projects. For example, why can't we go to Mesompa's constituency in Klerksdorp or Rustenburg? What I'm saying is to another province which are close to Gauteng, for example, so that we make sure that we are close to Germiston on what is that? This one we'll probably schedule the Friday. The NTC is a one, maybe that one we can schedule in Megawatt Park, for example. So it's food for thought for members. With regard to the gas cliff, I received a roadmap from the, what is it, IGUA SA. Remember those people who did that workshop on the gas cliff? That I will send to members. So even that one, we'll probably have to see if we can squeeze it in somewhere for the first term. Then on the FBE, I don't know, Mr. Paulson. But maybe we can, yeah, we'll have to see if we can maybe squeeze that one in as well somewhere. So those are my responses, Chair Lee. If there's anything you want to add?
No, I'm good. I think some of the things when we discuss the APP for 26-27, we can put it in the APP going forward.
Yeah.
But we can have that discussion.
Thanks, Chair.
Okay, thank you, Secretary. Can I ask from any member that is there a question that hasn't been answered so that we can deal with that? Thanks, Lee, for adding on the answers. I'm checking the gadget, whether is there any. Okay. Honorable Ntabeleng and Honorable Sompa, is it a legacy hand?
No, Chair, it's a follow-up. Thanks.
Oh, it's a follow-up. Okay. Let's first start with Honorable Ntabeleng and follow by you. And Honorable Mailem. I can see that in fact, he is raised now. Over to you, Honorable Ntabeleng.
Thanks a lot, Chair, and good morning, honorable members. Maybe the question to ask is there any particular reason why our oversights, and I'm first time in Parliament, so it's a question based on ignorance. Why is the oversight only concentrated around Gauteng? Is there a reason, or is there a committee only restricted to can only visit Gauteng-related sites for oversight, or we can expand this because the electricity issues and crisis as well as needs expands throughout the country, and it should be covering South Africa as a whole. Like for instance, the Secretary did mention very quite well that you have constituencies that could be visited, even if it's close to Johannesburg. For instance, let's say Merafong, or you go to Katlehong in Johannesburg to see, you go to Deep Sloot, for instance, to see, you can go to, the Centurion area where there is the informal settlements with no electricity whatsoever. So I'm just trying to understand, is this just restricted to Johannesburg or Gauteng, or we can extend it at some point, say next year or so, to other provinces that are in dire need for a level of oversight and to ensure, because if you remember that INEP actually program, it doesn't touch mostly the urban areas. The electrification program for INEP actually goes deep into the rural areas, usually Limpopos and KwaZulu-Natal, and you would find it in the Eastern Cape, etc. So I just wanted to find out that. The other thing I agree actually with the view that says that, an international trip, it takes 2 days, first of all, to get into a country and settle. And it takes 2 days usually to exit. So if we have a 6-day trip, we only have 2 days literally on the ground. It's going to be a little bit difficult on an oversight or an international study tour to really get a gist of everything within a 2 days. Other committees are doing properly 2 weeks for that particular reason in order to cover up the whole area, and it depends which areas you're going to. So I just wanted to raise that. The other question was relating literally to I think it was the issue of the programming. Let me just get those two answers. I can revert back on the question. I just noted it here. Thank you.
Chair, can I respond immediately?
Yes, you can.
Madam? Thank you, Chair. So, Mr. Nchabileng, yeah, so look, the committee can go anywhere, and these are proposals from our side. So this is dependent on what the committee agreed to. So the committee can say that, no, Rico, let's go to Limpopo to go and look at solar water heater installations in Polokwane or in Modemole or Burgersfort or wherever. So even the items, it's the committee's decision. As I say, this is what Lee and I propose we go and see, but it's not cast in stone. And with that, Mr. Nchabileng, we can go wherever within the Republic, whichever province. So we can go to the Northern Cape, to Uppington, to go and look at renewable energy projects. So, but as I say, this is dependent on the committee deciding on that. And then with regard to the study tour, again, just to reiterate, Mr. Nchabileng, look, the aim is to go work 5 days at least. That's the minimum. So if as you say, so if we're flying to wherever, then the aim is to be there at least the Sunday. That's why I say we fly out the Saturday, then arrive there at the destination on Sunday, so that we start on Monday and working up until Friday. That's why, as I said, then we fly out maybe the Saturday or the Sunday. Look, even on that, Mr. Nchabileng, I mean, I hear who's it, Mr. Tring as well, who said that some committees go for 2 weeks. Please forward me that information, please, the specific committees, so I can check with the relevant counterparts. How did they manage to do that? Remember, the other issue is the budget constraints. For when we submitted, when did we submit, Chair? Earlier this year, ne? I mean, that cost for that week was what, 1.4, 1.5 million. So for just 1 week, and as I say, 5 working days, on average, it's 1.5 million. So yeah, so there are the budget issues as well. Yeah, so that's it, Chair. Thanks, Chair.
Honorable, thank you for the explanation because this thing of these tours sometimes frustrates honorable members. I've had a lot of, or some committees have managed to travel to Turkey, to somewhere, to that. And you ask what criteria was it used to choose these committees? And exactly when is it going to happen? Knowing that next year we're faced with local government elections, and our organization will not want us to go up and above. So it's really frustrating, but nevertheless, it's just that it couldn't be discussed in the chair of chairs committee. You know, when the agenda is there and you come up with nasty things, you are seen as a person who's very controversial. So I said I must just keep quiet about it. So let's wait from the secretary, as he is promising that he's gonna do a follow-up. And anyway, I know the secretary is also interacting with other secretaries so that to check how far are they and what is it that is on point at that particular time. So now I'm happy that he is again saying that he's not going to put his neck on the block, but at least he will update us with new developments. Honorable Sompa, your follow-up?
No, Chair, I think you have covered me on your statement that you just mentioned now. I'm okay. I'm okay. It's fine.
Okay.
We'll wait to hear developments as time goes on. It's okay. Thanks.
Okay, the other thing that we discussed with the secretary is to say, let's apply for every member.
Yeah.
Then it will be the chair of chairs who will tell us this and that, understanding that we have to have a limited number for us to go. But other committees are allowed to go as they are. Why us not being able to give a permission to go? So the last time secretary submitted the application, he put all of us as the committee because we don't have a criteria to choose which honorable member should go and which honorable member that should not go. We don't have that prerogative of doing it. Okay. Honorable Mylem, I see your hand. This meeting, I don't think will take long, really, because it's internal matters and we are able to deal with it by ourselves. Honorable Mylem,
Thank you, Chair.
any follow-up?
Yes, Chair. I just wanted to come back to Eriko on the oversight for the first week of February. He asked for recommendations as to where we should go for those projects. So the two primary projects are the solar water heater program, and there's two elements to it. There were 4 municipalities that exited the program because they were unable to proceed. I don't think we should go there because there's nothing to see there. But the flagship project was Polokwane, which had the highest allocation of solar water heaters. They had, I think it was 16,000 solar water heaters allocated to Polokwane. And it hasn't been a huge success. There were complaints about units being stolen and vandalized and all sorts of things like that. So that's an opportunity that we could follow up on. Also, the city of Tshwane was also affected by the National Solar Water Heater Program, and that might be one that we could look at. And both of them are fairly close to Gauteng from a travel perspective. You could do it on the same day if you wanted to base yourself in Gauteng. Then on INEP, so the biggest issue in the immediate vicinity of Gauteng is informal settlements, and I seem to recall reading that there were something like 3 million households in Gauteng that need to be serviced with electricity. I could be wrong on that number, but informal settlements and illegal connections and the like are obviously huge impactors on the INEP program. But if we go outside of Gauteng, the areas that we really need to look at are, for example, the Bushbuck Ridge area, Zanin, Greater Guyana in general, in fact, is problematic. So those are areas that I would look at from a an INEP perspective and what those municipalities are doing to address the access to electricity in those areas, to address the illegal connections, to address the problem that people are having about energy affordability and energy accessibility through INEP. Chair, those are just suggestions. Obviously, it's subject to committee approval, but I think that would be valuable. Sorry, on INEP, I see that you've captured there. Ekurhuleni and Johannesburg have huge informal settlement problems with illegal connections. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Maile. No, you are right, Secretary, by saying that the oversight areas depends on us. So maybe we can request honorable members to submit, as Honorable Milem has already done, by citing areas that he thinks that we need also to visit them. Can we request the honorable members to submit to the secretary areas that they think are also critical for us to visit? Because this thing of oversight is the same thing with this one of the overseas trips. Sometimes you've got less days, and where you are going to travel is too far, and now you can't mingle around, moving for quite a long distances in between. So the secretary used to make sure that at least he make it a point that he links the areas that we are going to visit, so that we don't spend a lot of time by traveling from point A to point B. So we can have that and then come up with places that we think we need. It's not necessary Gauteng, really. Even Western Cape has got the Ekubek and Saldana and this gas thing now lately. And I heard honorable members are saying that there isn't much that we have done in terms of the gas clips, except to just make a lip service talking and talking about it. So for us to apply on time, because this application takes a lot of time sometimes, and sometimes they are rejected, sometimes they are approved, and it makes us in a very bad position in an awkward way. So can we request that? And secretary is also going to remind you if you have forgotten to submit. But if you see it well and good, the area that has been submitted, because myself, I don't know these areas, but there are honorable members that have a knowledge, and we Google and research and etc. But maybe they know these areas physically. So, and the secretary is using his experience in terms of knowing these ones that sometimes used to have hiccups. If I may quote an example of the Igua, I think Honorable Milem attended that one of Igua. The members that were there were suggesting that if we can, as members of parliament, advise them and also maybe support them when they visit these areas, Richards Bay, etc. They name them, but some are falling under the minerals and petroleum. The real ones that falls under us. Before you see that there's not much that they have said about it. So we have also to be very cautious and look at it now. We are a separated portfolio committee now. Yes, we can work together as we used to. I'm not saying that we can cut the ties that we had with minerals and petroleum. So I will request the honorable members to assist and advise on those things. Any other question that
Chair,
hasn't been answered? Yes.
Just before that, Chair, a request from my side. Now, I mean, today is the 3rd, Chair. Next week, Parliament arises. Then we start with our leave and whatever else, Chair. Now, January I call it a dead month, Chair. It's difficult getting hold of these various offices and so on. So a request from my side, Chair, if we can maybe sort out this issue now of the oversight visit, Chair. So that I can at least by next week or so send the correspondence off to the department. So as Mr. Milam identified Polokwane now, for example. Now, Mr. Nchabileng can maybe advise. How far is Giyani from Polokwane? That's about what, 2.5 hours, 3 hours drive, plus minus,
Yes,
hey, Mr.
it is
Nchabileng?
about 2.5 hours drive.
Yeah. So that's why I say, Chair, or request that can't we finalize the solar water heater projects and the INAP? Or even, as we say, let's go to Polokwane, the furthest point. Maybe there's an area as we drive south to Gauteng. I'm thinking what now? Modemole, Mr. Nchabileng, or yeah? As we come back to Gauteng, driving back to Gauteng.
Yeah, you
Um,
can do that
may-
actually. It's on the
maybe
same route.
that's what I'm saying. So something like
Mm.
that, where we go to the furthest point the first day and then come
Yes.
down, something
Yeah.
like that. So
Makes sense.
that's why I request, Chair, that let's try and narrow it down so that I mean I can check with the department. Are there INEP projects in Modimole? Are there solar water heater projects in Polokwane where you can take us? Please, Chair. Thank you, Chair. So Chair, just on that. So members are fine with the NTCSA control room, and as I say, the NTCSA we can kill two birds with one stone, where we go to Megawatt Park and we have this meeting with NTCSA at Megawatt Park. Thanks, Chair.
Can I check with honorable members whether are there still questions that needs to be addressed and responded by the secretary?
Yes, Such. I still remember there was a leftover question.
Which one? Can you remind us?
I
Yeah.
also regret Chair.
Uh,
I was saying you must note me also. I have raised a hand long time.
Tompane?
Yes.
Secretary, do you still remember the question of Honorable Chableng?
No. I had a
No.
leftover question I needed to raise because I didn't have the notes. I just wanted to. Yes, I was struggling to open it. Okay. The
Okay.
question was in relation to one, the power station that was finalized and fully done, which had a big fire on, which was Midupi. It's based in Lephalale. We haven't done
Yeah.
it's a massive power station. Yeah, so maybe that could be a consideration. That's number one. And you can cover up, as you're saying, coming up with the water back, and then you're doing that in Mudimule area stuff, because it's in the same vicinity, literally. In
Correct.
one, you can cover it all up. And the drive is quite smooth as well. So it's not going to be a tension of some sort. That's number one. The other thing is we attended this meeting on Friday last week, which I think is quite critical for the committee to take it. The chair was there, and then really, they gave us a strong guidance. It was a 5 committee joint meeting on the issue of energy security, which is literally fuels, petroleum fuels, etc., including, relating to IVS, which is the Island View Storage Terminal in Durban. This is a very important issue, and we need to, I think, as a committee, highlight it strongly, because at some point it's going to have a knock effect on Eskom, given the fact that Eskom depends on diesel for some of its plants for OCGTs. It's a diesel based, so diesel is going to be, it's critical anyway, not going to be critical. And with the question of IVS, we need to highlight it at some point in part of our engagements, as well as support the ongoing joint committee program, which happened on Friday. And it was a brilliant committee engagement, which I think we should incorporate it into the planning. I don't see it highlighted, but it's something that we can consider as well. And at some point, maybe look at a tour around that part of it in respect. I mean, in relation to, Secretary, in relation to these trips, I've seen other committees, and this is between us, right, in the committee, so I shouldn't be quoted out of context. And people say I said and I did. Some committees are budgeting as far as for their overseas trip, I think, about 2.9, 2.8 million, which means they are literally taking over. It's like a whole year. They're finishing their year, this year, 2025. Whatever they didn't spend on too many expenses on their trips and oversights and even including meetings, they're bulking it up into their planning for their overseas and everything so that everybody can be accommodated. And then some of them have even opted to say, most of the members, there's no need for people to travel business. They will travel, I think, normal.
Economy.
Yeah, economy. And they did a 2 weeks proper planning. So, I mean, I have a lot of respect and great admiration. You're one of the best secretaries in this portfolios. And you know your way around the space. Not to say, short-circuiting, but being able to talk to various levers of structures of parliament. So maybe you could assist Secretary on that side, the committee in the motivation for more other days, and whatever they decide, I mean, we are okay with it. It's their prerogative. But at some point, if the decisions need committee members to engage or even maybe to call the chair of chairs into, the room to say the assistance is required, it will be good to do that, for motivation, or even in the secretary's office, because we have to motivate these things at some point for them to understand the seriousness, because other committees are actually given to the extent where the budgets of other committees are extended to even double the yearly annual threshold because of the work of that committee. And I feel electricity has been underfunded as a result. So I'm just going to leave it at that in terms of the budget of Parliament. Thank you.
Okay. Your question at least and concern is clear, Honorable Sabileng. Let's give Honorable Somba, and then we'll allow the land to the secretary to respond on them. Thanks.
No, no, Chair. I just wanted to get in on what the secretary was proposing to say. We must submit our proposal in terms of the oversight of February. I wanted to support the proposal of Honorable Mainam in terms of Polokwane, but I see that already the secretary have captured it here. Thank you very much. I'm okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Somba. Then let's give Secretary to respond. Thank you, Secretary. And Lee, you can also assist.
Thank you, Chair. So, Mr. Buck, okay, you want me to respond first, Chair? So, Mr. Chabileng, yeah, that Medupi proposal, yeah, as you say, that's not how will fit nicely in there as well. What was the other one? So yeah, Mr. Chabileng, even our chair, the chair indicated that look, let's try and minimize our budget in order for the whole committee contingent to undertake this study tour. And as Chair indicated as well, Mr. Nchabileng, that the aim is to submit the full committee contingency, including the support staff. So that is the plan. But as you say, so with regard to the duration, look, can be recouped from the consolidated fund. So there is that as well. So yeah, I think those were the questions, Chair. Lee, do you want to add anything?
No, I think, yeah, between the two of us, we can just look at the logistics and see if it fits in the 4 days for the current oversight. At the moment, it looks like 5 days, but yeah, we'll just have to work that out logistics wise. But otherwise, I don't have anything to add. It's fine.
So if it is going to be 5 days, then Chair, the third is the Tuesday actually. So then we'll have to start on the 2nd. Leave the Sunday, the 1st, and then to be in Polokwane on the 2nd and start Monday, the 2nd. So we'll put in an application starting on the 2nd. And as you know, members are aware that Monday is constituency day. So then the application will have to go to the Chief Whip's office as well. So yeah, that's it, Chair.
Okay.
Chair, the IVS question.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was the other one, Chair. Actually, yesterday I received a WhatsApp from Andre, and he indicated that we must block, what did he say? 27 and 30 January. So by the looks of it, Mr. Nsabileng, they are planning to have another joint sessions on those 2 dates. So 27 and 30 January on the IVS. So, but as you say, from our side, maybe we must look at that as well. As Lee indicated, maybe in the new financial year, maybe look at that as well, including that item or items relating to the island view issue. Thanks, Chair.
Okay, thank you, so Secretary. I'm waiting for this case. Thank you, Secretary. Can we check, is there any honorable member who has got a question for now? So that we can go to the minutes.
No, it's first the other item as well, Chair.
Oh, the other item, okay, over to you, Secretary.
But I think there was a hand, Chair. Didn't I see Mr. Bapti?
Yes, Chair, my hand is up.
Honorable Bapti, is your hand up?
My hand is up here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. Come closer
Okay,
to the mic. Come closer
that
to the
better?
mic. Yes, it's better.
Chair, you did ask that we submit suggestions to the Secretary. I do have, but it would be for the first term of the new year. So not for the fourth quarter.
That we're going to discuss now, Mr. Bapti.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Honorable
Chair?
Bapti, did the Secretary hear you, what you were saying?
Yeah, I've responded to
Yes,
Mr. Bapti, Chair.
Huh?
I've responded to Mr. Bapti, Chair.
Okay.
The next item is the development of the committee's APP for 26-27, Chair.
Okay, carry on.
All right, so Lee will take us through that document, Chair.
Yes, I'm just going to share my screen. And then okay, so this is the APP for 26-27. Just a few preliminary remarks. This will be a working document. I don't think we were able to finalize it today because the department has indicated that they're submitting the gas amendment bill to cabinet and that they're hoping it will be approved during this week. So we may receive it next week. So that will impact on our APP going forward. And another issue is with regards to the NNR's board members that needs to be appointed. That's coming to us as well. So we have to take that into account going forward. But we haven't received it as yet. But it will, that's why we can only be able to finalize the 26-27 APP in the next term, in case we receive that. Okay, so with that said, I populated this with what we've already agreed to. If you'll notice, I'm going straight into the performance. So there's standard things. The first one is the quarterly updates from DE. Everything is as per our SP. We will see the things that are highlighted is where we need your members' inputs. What I've put here under legislation, processing of legislation, is in the DE's APP. They've put the gas amendment bill and they also mentioned the ESCOM conversion amendment bill. So I've put that in there as per the APP. And then all the rest is standard. Okay, this is the highlighted areas is where members need to provide input. So our 2 oversights visits for the year. And then the monitor the security and supply value chain feeding into the energy mix meetings. This is a meeting held with relevant stakeholders. So basically everything in here that's highlighted, the members need to provide input into. This one on the oversight over DPME with regards to the National Enterprise Management Bill. The committee on DPME is currently sitting to discuss the desirability of the bill. So we'll find out what the outcome is, and if it is be taken forward, then we'll have this meeting. But everything else is per our SP. So that's what I populated so far. So the rest is for the members to discuss going forward, what else they want in here. But basically this comes from our SP and what was agreed to already. Thanks. Over to you, Chair, for members' input.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Lee. I think the members have managed to capture you. And then what needs to be done is the interaction amongst ourselves as members. Thanks.
Chair,
Over to you, members.
sorry, Chair, just before members come in, Chair. Yeah, Lee, I actually forgot, I mean, with regard to the first term program, Chair. As Lee indicated, I actually spoke to Nhlamulo during the week, and he indicated that the gas amendment bill is going to cabinet tomorrow, and they are hoping that it will be approved by cabinet tomorrow. So just for members to make a mental note, the impact of that. If that legislation is referred to the committee, tabled and referred to the committee, and as I've indicated in the focus areas, the House Chair indicated that legislation must get priority. So for our first term, which we've discussed before this one now, if that legislation, the gas amendment bill, is referred to the committee, our program will change. The oversight will stay. We'll do our oversight. But as I say, if that legislation is tabled and referred to the committee, let's say next week or in 2 weeks' time, then we'll have to prioritize the legislation. So note that, members, that there's legislation that might be coming, the gas amendment bill. Then the other one is the appointment of the NNR, not the appointment, what is it? What do they call it? What is it? The shortlisting of candidates, which we must do as well as the committee. So come first term, those two items will impact our program for the first term, which we discussed earlier. So it's the shortlisting of the NNR board, two members, two vacancies, and then the possible tabling and referral of the guest amendment bill. Thank you, Chair. Just on what Lee now briefed members on. So with the APP, remember there are, shall I call it for lack of a better word, standing items. So come April, we'll deal with the budget vote and the budgets of the entities. So those items will be there. That will be about 3 or 4 meetings. Then, as the committee agreed, at this stage, with regard to the quarterly performance reports, at this stage, we're only dealing with the quarterly performance reports of DEE and ESCOM. But in the briefing of the Department of Electricity and Energy, we've also included now the performance of the entities. And after I've spoken to the DG, after our last engagement with the DEE on the performance of the entities, we agreed that no, going forward, that will form part of that item. Let's say, for example, briefing by DEE on the first quarter performance report of 26-27, but include the performance of the entities. And then we said, for those meetings, they must invite the entities as well. For example, the CEO and the CFO minimum. Because we found that during the last engagement, members asked specific questions. For example, the NNR. So then we said, no, then at least the entity can respond to those specific issues which members might ask. So as I say, so at this stage, it's only DEE and ESCOM that we're dealing with the quarterly performance report. So that will happen throughout the year. Then the other standing items are the annual reports during October for the BRRR. So those items will be there, will be in the APP. So now it's just the other items that we need to deal with. So even the energy stakeholder engagements. So even there, members must say, no, look, we're dealing with the ED. The EDI, as I said, will probably continue. But then we probably need to look at other items, shall I call it, or themes that we need to deal with during the energy stakeholder meetings. Say, for example, electricity pricing, for example. So members must just keep that in mind. So it's basically coming up with items that we will prioritize during 26-27. Thanks, Jack.
Are you done, Secretary?
I'm done, yes, Chair.
Okay. You know, guest
Yeah.
Secretary, we hear you now, but we might as well ask you again. So please don't get bored, and also,
It's fine, Chair.
yes, like you are going to repeat what you are saying to myself. So,
No problem, Chair.
okay. Now, if there are no questions, let's pass to the what is this? Minutes. Let's pass to the minutes.
So Chair, so just on the APP, can we then propose what we wanted to do with the oversight visit, that maybe members send items or themes which we need to prioritize for the APC.
Yes. Yes, Secretary, you are right. They must also submit. They can submit via WhatsApp. Then we will prioritize them, because if it's via WhatsApp in the group, at least we will be able to share amongst ourselves what are the ideas of ourselves
Sure.
and then come up with the concrete thing. But we must do that the sooner the better, as you have
Correct, Chair.
reminded us that it needs time. So let's say that, let's hold it like that.
Yeah. So during the first term next year, 2026, Chair, Lee and I will work the document, and then members can have a look again and indicate if they are
Yes.
fine with it. All right, Chair.
Yes, yes.
So members still have
Yes.
homework to do, Chair.
Mm.
Yeah.
Can I just get out of this? Okay. Secretary, any other item except the minutes?
Chair. Lee,
Mhm.
anything from you?
Yes, from you.
No, nothing from me,
No,
Chair.
no, I think we covered. If the members can just provide us some info with something in for the yellow areas in the APP, and then we can work on that. That would be fine. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you very much, Lee. Let's go to the minutes. We've got 3 sets of minutes. Rico,
Correct, Chair. That's correct, Chair.
flight the first one and lead us.
Okay, so these are the minutes of Wednesday, 19 November. Briefing by the ESCOM on the first and second quarter performance report for 25-26, and then consideration and adoption of outstanding minutes, 12 November. Attendance by the committee members, parliamentary staff, opening remarks, presentation by ESCOM, discussions. These minutes are quite lengthy, Chair.
Okay. Thank you
And then-
for this. Can I get the hand from honorable members that adopts the minutes and the hand for seconding the minutes? Honorable Myliam, where's your hand? Oh, Honorable Bapti?
Thank you, Chair. There was an amendment I wanted to propose.
Yes. Thank you very much, honorable member. Honorable Bapti has adopted the minutes of the
Chair, I'm
19th.
proposing an amendment under the
Oh, with
discussion.
amendments? Okay,
Yes.
with all right, waiting for you.
Chair, in the discussion, the item, one of the important items to come out of the municipal debt was that Eskom D. Salga had not at any stage done an inquiry into or an investigation into municipalities that do pay their electricity accounts to make some comparative analysis of what the differences are between those that are effective in managing the electricity business and those that are not. And I think it's important that that item is recorded in the discussion.
Okay. I think you are clear enough. And Secretary, do you have anything on this thing that is being amended by Honorable Babsi?
Is Mr. Bapti saying it's not included, or he wants to change something on a specific page? I'm not
No,
sure, Chair.
I'm saying it's not included and
It's
it
not
should be.
Oh,
included.
It's an
okay.
important omission and it needs to be included.
Yeah.
So we have no study of municipalities that are competent in the EDI and those that are not, and what the differences or the similarities are.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr.
And
Baptiste.
he has also adopted the minutes, and then we
With
have
corrections.
second. Adopted with amendments and any second. Vusingos, where are they?
We are here, Chair.
Okay.
We were
Honorable
still,
Ngozi.
yes, we're just still just checking on the amendment by Honorable Bapti. We second with amendment, Chair. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Did you manage to hear what he was saying? Ne?
Yeah,
Yes,
that's fine.
Okay. No probes. The minutes of the 19th has been adopted and also seconded. Can we go to the second set of minutes? Secretary, read us.
This meeting was on Friday, the 21st. Briefing by the ESCOM, Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, and the South African Local Government Association, SALGA, on the municipal electricity distribution industry. So the members present, apologies, opening remarks, presentations, and then discussions. The resolutions, and then adjournment, Chair.
Okay. That's all. Honorable members. Honorable Chabeleng, where are you?
Chair, I'm here with you.
Okay.
Yes, Chair.
Were you present anyway?
Yes, he was, Chair.
Okay.
Mr.
Can you
Nkosi's
say
hand.
something?
Mr. Nkosi's hand is raised, Chair.
Oh, okay. Let's give Honorable Ngozi then. Honorable Ngozi.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I was just seeing that Honorable Chabele wanted to say something, but I just wanted to move with adoption of the minutes as presented, Chair.
Okay. Honorable Ngozi move the minutes as a true reflection. And then any second, Honorable Somba.
I'll second, Chair.
Yes. The minutes of the 21st. Now we are going to the last minutes. Leader Secretary.
This is the minutes of 26 November, Chair, where we were briefed by the National Energy Regulator of South Africa, NERSA, and the Presidency on the municipal electricity distribution industry. Attendance register, opening remarks, presentations by NERSA and the Presidency, and then discussions. Then the
Honorable
agenda.
members, that was a long meeting, that one of that day, because we had so many issues to us from NERSA, and we were not really clear exactly on what is it that they are doing. Any member? Those ones are fresh. I still remember.
Chair.
Chair.
Yes, I'm waiting for. Oh, there are the hands. Honorable Ntabeleng, thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, the minutes have got some errors in it.
Ah,
Yes, do we need to correct them before adoption?
yes.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, I was just highlighting that there's some errors. Do they need to be, adopted with errors or just?
No, come up first with the corrections so that we can agree upon, and then we can adopt them with amendments if we agreed that, because we're all present in the meeting.
Okay. All right. I think on the NESA side of it, one was we had agreed that NESA should give us those studies that they conducted, the cost of supply studies. They just presented to us, which was, not effective, as well as the list of those municipalities that complied with regards to the DAA requirements, as well as the ones that have been approved. There was quite a lot of questions, and I don't know. This is the minutes are quite a summary, but I would assume it captures most of that.
Yeah, I
Outlining,
think what you, yes,
yes, Chair.
I was saying what you are saying, I don't think it's a correction per se, except it's the addition out of the
Yes,
discussions of that day. I remember what you asked then. And
yes,
then you can continue.
yes. And then the presidency side of it, I raised the question as to I think it was a dual or conflicting mandate of NICOM to say, is NICOM still necessarily, placed in the presidency, or should it been now incorporated into a program under a directorate in the Department of Electricity and Energy? And it's not reflected as well. So the question of NICOM is quite critical, because we can't have an ongoing, almost, parallel committee that was only structured for a particular process, and that purpose has ended. Electricity crisis is over. We're talking about electricity, energy action plan now, rather than the electricity crisis. So this should be, we can't have two ministries, the presidency as well as the electricity department, running parallel agendas and spending money unnecessarily to do the same thing that the department is already doing. So I don't see that reflected in those minutes. And we did have a very lengthy discussion around that in that meeting.
Maybe let me assist in terms of phrasing it. Let's not phrase it as a question per se, but
Yes.
let's rather say the discussions by the committee was that, and the suggestion was that the NICOM needs to be in the Department of Electricity and Energy, and also at all what you are saying in terms of that. That was the discussion. And yes. And anyway, in terms of the addition of rather than to use money, maybe it's not necessary for that, because it might as well be covered in terms of the reason out of the discussion that was suggesting that the income. Thank you. The Rico is going to see on how to put it, but I think it's still in order, because that suggestion came up and we noted it and we see it as something that we need to discuss it. Then the other one.
Chair, my apologies, Chair. It's member
Okay,
Tring.
Bhakti.
It's member Tring, Chair.
Oh, Honorable Tring.
Chair, my apologies. It's just a small matter. I didn't necessarily want to take you back, but I think the minutes of the 19th, and I know we've already covered that, but the minutes of the 19th has me as being absent. But, I just a quick check. I was actually present, Chair, at that meeting. I can recall Honorable Milam and I asked a similar question on the relative particulate emissions, which is 5% greater than what it should have been. So if we could just have that change as well. I was actually present on the 19th. Minutes has me as being absent.
Yeah, no, you're right, Mr.
Apologies.
Twing. You were present.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Chair.
Honorable Bapti, don't do that again, because those minutes were seconded and done. The first thing that honorable members must do is to check whether they are present or not, because sometimes there is a misprint or sort of say slip of the pen. And I don't know whether there is something of that nature, but maybe Ariko made a mistake in terms of not registering your name. We need to do that and start with it. Now we are on the last set of minutes. You are coming up with that correction, but for the progress of the committee and committee meeting, let's allow you to do that. And Ariko has noted it. He is going to correct it. So those minutes will be adopted with that amendment, or with the amendments, not particularly with that particular one, but with all the amendments that can crop up. So thanks for noticing that.
Chair?
Yes, finish up because you were still going on.
Okay. Yes,
Yeah.
Chair. So on the other thing that we didn't note on this minute is the discussion was centered around two issues. One is the tariff by NERSA to ESCOM, from ESCOM, and then from ESCOM to municipalities. In the proposal there, we said that we need a tariff cap, which means, say, for instance, 3 rand should be the maximum charges that, say, they're buying it at 1.50 rand. If it's 100% cost of service incurred by municipalities to recover their cost towards selling electricity to residents or users, the cap should be 3 rand, for instance, of all electricity tariff. I don't see that perspective, featured where we need a NERSA tariff cap to these two, whether from ESCOM to municipalities, because this is where the problem of high electricity cost comes from, is that the municipalities charge as they will, and we are not being explicitly clear what is our vision or ambition in this case. We said it clearly, and NERSA was quite okay with the view that they need to regulate municipalities to a cap of, say, 3 rand as a maximum charge out of the full tariff. So there will be 2-stage tariffs, one ESCOM and then the municipality cap. So I think we need to include that in there. I don't know how we will formulate it.
Now I would
Thank you.
suggest, Honorable Chabeling, that we even said that the policy needs to be fast track, because with the means, yeah, I remember I did even make an example of Western Cape that is overcharging us. So Secretary must see the way, because that also depends on this thing of the policy, so that they can have a standard and electric.
So are you saying a single NERSA tariff charge that reflects ESCOM and then municipalities' maximum
It's
charge?
also charging the other one, yes,
Yes.
other price.
So I agree with you, Chair.
Yeah, they are charging different prices, which is not allowed, at least, to happen like that, really. So, Secretary, note that. Is the other one?
Chair,
Hello?
could we see what the proposed amendment is going to be then, that you're proposing?
I beg yours?
I'd like to read what the actual amendment is that you are proposing to the minutes.
You want to read them, or you want me to repeat what I'm saying?
Chair, I'd like to know what Eriko is going to record in the minutes before we approve them.
Oh, okay. Ariko?
Look,
But,
Chair, it's
yeah.
quite a number of amendments that Mr. Ntshabileng has proposed now. So I propose we don't consider and adopt this set of minutes now. Let me go back to the recording and then include the issues, and then we'll consider and adopt next year, Chair. This is our last meeting anyway for this year now, Chair. That's what I'm proposing.
Ariko, you'll know that I don't like to pack minutes on that.
Yeah, I know, Chair.
Imamela, listen, Ntshabileng raised three things. The only thing that he is doing, he will put a preamble and also want to go back to the discussion, which is at least the one that is sometimes confuses, because it's three things that he raised, and we were part and parcel because this meeting is recent. He only raises this one of this tariff that also needs the policy, as I am saying that the municipality and Tuntun. That's the first one. And then he also raised the one of NERSA in terms of we discuss and maybe come. But anyway, I don't want to waste time. But the three things, the one of NERSA and the NECOM to be under the electricity and energy, that was a proposal. It's not something that is cut and dry and agreed upon. I can be flexible for him to go back to the recording as he wants to do that. But the reality of the matter, I thought we will do all these things, minutes
No.
and do with them. It's fine.
You captured it well, Chair.
I think
I
that
agree.
okay, that was the three things that he raised. That we were part and parcel of that meeting, and I still remember. That's why I even remind him that I even take an issue of Western Cape, where municipality is charging the other tariff and ESCOM is charging another one. We are not saying it's Western Cape only that is doing that. It might be other areas like other towns or municipalities are doing the same. That is why we came up with something of saying the standard tariff needs to be drafted, especially in that policy. Sure.
Sure, Chair.
Let's leave those minutes and allow the secretary, because we can't not agree with him. And then the next time,
But Chair, the
when
minutes are ready for adoption. It's just a line, that's all. There's no need for us to be packing them for next year. They are ready for adoption.
Ntshabileng is raising the, all right.
Chair.
Yes.
Chair, it's Honorable Bapti here. Chair, with the NECOM status and where it should fit, I know that NECOM did provide an explanation as to why NECOM 2 is continuing, and it's an interim structure in terms of the distribution and transmission spaces that required some urgent action. But I think if we're going to go back to amend the minutes, particularly when it comes to discussion, there is a whole host of points that are not in this particular minute that were raised at the meeting. And I think it could become quite onerous. So I'm just worried that we capture the discussion in a way that suggests we arrived at a conclusion that was just a particular point of view, but there were many. So I don't believe we can capture everything in the discussion. And I think NECOM did explain the reason for their existence as NECOM 2.
The Honorable Bapti, you are right. That's why I'm saying I'm using the terminology of it was not cut and dry agreement on that, but it was a proposal that was discussed in the committee, which then, even if NECOM came up with answer, it doesn't mean that it was not discussed, because these are the minutes. And out of that, you are saying it was explained. It's fine. You are right by saying that not everything can be captured in the minutes, but the key points needs to be registered and recorded. Because I still remember that debate also. And they came up with reasons and what. And were reasons that were said, maybe if this is divided and put in another committee, it's gonna have budget this committee and that committee, etc. It doesn't mean that the decision was taken on that. It's not. Thank you, Honorable Papti and Honorable Nchabeleng. And Secretary, thank you very much. We are deferring these minutes to next. Agreeing with us, or are you saying you can be fine with the changes and also not changes per se, additions? I was trying to correct Nchabeleng by saying there's a lot of corrections, except there's a lot of additions.
Yeah, Chair,
Which
my hand.
Honorable Papto, by saying that everything will appear when we discuss these issues, but three things.
Yes.
And then who's talking now?
My hand is up, Chair.
Okay, over
Yeah.
to you.
Thanks, Chair. I think, Chair, I support what you said. It's just a line augmentation based on what you've summarized, and that's it. We don't have to change the minutes and do everything. Let's get things done. This thing of deferring things and then we don't finalize, it creates a bit of a problem on backlog. And then the next year, after we've been through festives, we've forgotten most of the stuff. So I would appreciate if this can be.
Summarily?
Yeah, summarily,
are
what you've summarized, just put the liner there according to what you've said. Secretary can put a line and then we adopt these minutes going forward.
Okay. You are adopting the minutes, Honorable Nchabeleng. That's where I want you to get to, so that
Oh, yes. Yeah, the language.
there's
Remember,
no confusion.
I don't know the language.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm adopting the minutes based on what you've summarized.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Me too. Yes, me too. I'm
Okay.
too poor in English. Like I'm doing. We are adopting the minutes with amendment from Nchabeleng. Honorable
Sorry.
Papti?
Yes,
Honorable
Chair.
Papti? Yes.
I had not raised another question.
It's Kevin Martin here.
It's Honorable Marlam. That's
Yep.
calling your attention, Chair.
I can't hear you. You are breaking.
Honorable Marlam is calling your attention, Chair.
Oh,
Marlam,
Mylem.
not Bapti. Yes.
Okay. Honorable, over to you, Honorable Mylem.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I have no problem with adopting minutes, but I want to see what we're approving before we approve it. It's not unreasonable to say we must amend the minutes, but then let's see what the actual minutes are going to read. If we say we adopt them with amendments, so what are those amendments? What are the specific wording? Because words have meaning, and they become a record of this committee. So before we adopt, from a point of procedure perspective, we need to know what is being recorded. And all I'm asking is that we actually put it down on paper and say, yes, that's what we're saying. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. Can I use my discretion on this thing? Because we cannot be going back and forth between, Secretary to go to the door. Honorable Nchabeleng is explaining what he wants to be added. Myself, as the chair who was in the meeting, I am saying I remember these discussions. So you can see that the secretary is not sure. Also, is not saying that he doesn't hear what we're saying. Two, Honorable Mylem wants us to write minutes right now, whilst we are saying that these leads to the three things not this preamble that Honorable Tabelink used to put and sort of discussing an issue. Just put these three things. So if there are these three ideas, I'm saying it's not a Christmas. As the secretary is saying, we can adopt them next year. But what I like is that next year will be not sure exactly what we're saying. But out of the records now, it's going to be recorded. So let's defer these minutes for the next year. I really humble request, honorable members. Any other hand? So I can close the meeting now. Honorable Ngosi.
No, Chair, no, I was also seconding that we actually deferred the meeting until we get the recording, then we can adopt it next year.
Thanks ever so much. I'm seconded. Can we then check with the secretary whether is there anything? And bear in mind, the local secretary is also busy with some other things, honorable members. I don't have a PA. He is doing a double job or a triple job. And I want to commend him about that. And I want to say to them, both Lee and also secretary, they are doing a very wonderful job. I've never failed through their deliberation and also assisted them. If I have forgotten about something, they call me and remind me. So they might have some things that might have missed, and also which is not a bad thing. So if he wants to go back and look at the minutes, there's nothing wrong with that. The only thing that he knows that I don't like these minutes to be packed and packed and packed until we forget on what we were discussing. Otherwise, thanks ever so much. And thanks for you to raise all what you think it's not added. Much. The what is it? The adoption of minutes is meant for that, to look at things that we might miss, and also we might want to amend them. Thank you very much. And I heard secretary saying that this is the last committee meeting. I want to wish everybody a very marvelous Christmas and a happy New Year. But it doesn't mean that we are closing. We still have to be at the parliament and do some other things. But I might not have an opportunity to say Merry Christmas. And the one thing that you must understand, I'm poor in writing. I think my tips are not fine due to nails. Sometimes I type this, it trips and type other things that I don't want. So sometimes I keep quiet not to type. So don't take me otherwise, or take me that I'm not a responsible person or a caring person. Thanks ever so much. You've been so kind to the committee, and you have been so nice to one another. We are looking forward for all what we have suggested. And myself and the secretary, and Lee, doesn't mean that it will be our last talk today. We will talk and talk and talk and talk. For instance, after these resolutions and also things to be done, we always talk with the secretary. I call him early hours of the morning, midnight, whenever I have time. He has never complained by saying, you like to call me during weekends whilst I'm busy with my family. And Lee, if she's busy with the kids, I'll call her, she will respond immediately. So let's keep that communication warm. Otherwise, the committee is doing well. I don't want to say lies. And I have to commend you whilst you are still with me in the committee. Thanks ever so much. The meeting has adjourned.
Thank you,
Thanks, Chair.
Chair. Blessed Christmas and holiday
you,
season
Chair.
to everyone as well. Thank you.
Thank you,
Pleasure
Chair.
you,
pleasure
Mr.
to
Merry
all.
Tim.
Christmas,
Honorable
everybody.
members.
Enjoy your holiday. See you next year. Bye.
Thank you,
Happy
members.
See you.
Christmas.
Chair, I might not complain, but Lorraine is complaining.
Bye-bye. We'll
You
miss
guys are
one
awesome.
another in any case.
Pleasure, Chair.
Bye-bye, Secretary. Let's talk later. Ne?
Sure, Chair.
Recording stopped.